So what to do in a situation where you can't actually track the food, because there will be times where you go to your parents' house and they cook you a meal, or your grandparents' house, you go to a local cafe or an independent restaurant and they don't have the nutritional information available on the menu. So if you weren't already aware, most chain restaurants and cafes do have their nutritional information available on their website, on their apps. So if you ever go to like a big chain restaurant, cafe, anything along those lines, you will always be able to find the nutritional information, preempt it and plan ahead. But there will be times where that is not the case. So what the hell do you do in that situation? So the first thing is if you can pre-plan it, do. So say for example, you know you're going to X coffee shop or X restaurant, you can preempt and pre-plan for it. So what I would do is I would Google or go into MyFitnessPal and type in something similar. So let's say for example you're going to an Italian, I would then look at, say, go to another more sort of chain restaurant, look at their pizza, find something similar and preempt and track that in. If you're going to your parents for a roast dinner, if you type in roast dinner on MyFitnessPal or sort of Google it and sort of maybe or roughly just do the individual items and just pop those in as a rough guesstimation, that's fine, and input it so you kind of have a rough idea as to what it is. So either track something like for like, or just tracking the ingredients roughly. It doesn't matter if you're a little bit over or a little bit under, it realistically will not matter in the grand scheme over the course of your week. If this is becoming quite an overwhelming task, so let's say for example you haven't preempted or pre-planned it, you've just spontaneously been invited round to your grandma's house and she's made a cottage pie and she has all of these ingredients and it's just really confusing as to what the hell to track in. In this instance, what I would do is simply leave a calorie allocation for that meal. So I usually say just leave off about 800 to 1,000 calories that day for that meal. Again, you may have gone a little bit under, you may have gone a little bit over, but in the grand scheme it's fine. That way you're not stressing and worrying, because there really is no need to stress or worry, because going long term you aren't going to want to be tracking forever. So as long as you can sort of allocate for it, and the more you track as well, the more you will have a general understanding as to probably what is in that meal. So if you've been tracking for a long time, you will have the knowledge to go, right, I've not been able to track that meal in, but roughly looking at the portion sizes and knowing what I know about nutrition, that's probably going to be about 700 calories. So I'll just account for that and just maybe take a little bit off my food later that day.